Hi, all. Welcome to the RPA Feed channel. And today we are having another podcast with amazing guest, Faik. Faik is industry professional with over 25 years of experience into software development industry. And he has started his new venture 5 years ago that's known as Robomotion. He's co-founder of Robomotion. And with all the work that he's doing is currently into automation space. I would invite Faik to introduce himself to the audience.
Thank you, Dipendra. Hello, all. First of all, thank you for inviting me to your podcast, Dipendra. I'm Faik. As Dipendra said, I am co-founder of Robomotion, an RPA company we have been developing for about 5 years now. Before Robomotion, my career was mostly in fintech. I have worked in backend software, mobile software, front ends. I worked in everywhere, even POC devices, embedded devices. And now for 5 years, we are now working to create a web-based cloud-native RPA software.
Could you tell the audience what exactly this Robomotion is about? Like, what do you guys do as part of Robomotion?
Yeah. Let me go back maybe some years before Robomotion. With my co-founder, Osman, we have been doing some consultancy business for fintech companies in here. We are located in Istanbul, Turkey. We have been consulting to these fintech companies, developing custom software. And we have always looking for some product to develop. And we were always looking for something. And that's when we meet RPA. One of our customers needed some automation. It was a hard task to automate. And when we searched for a solution, we have discovered RPA. And that was 5 years ago. And we looked into further and decided to go into this space and started developing Robomotion. When we started, we of course searched for other RPA products, competitor products. We searched, we used this software and saw some gaps in the space. All of the software, for example, was developed for desktop, and there was no actually using technology like cloud technologies. This is 5 years ago. Not all the software were using web-based tools. So this we got into thinking and why we could not develop something for the cloud era. We are in the space like Kubernetes containers, and also all the tools we use are web-based. And we started like that. And now we have accomplished most of what we have been dreaming back then. And now it is very easy to start using Robomotion. Just go to robomotion.io, register, and start using our tool. And also, most of the products were only for Windows still back then, and still this is the case, not much changed. And Robomotion can be used on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, even Raspberry Pi we support. And also we have cloud robots. You can just develop everything in your browser and run your automations from the browser.
Okay, that's awesome. So you have a RPA and automation solution for Mac and Linux as well?
Yeah, that's correct. When you go to robomotion.io, you can download our robots for Linux and Mac. We also support Intel Macs and ARM Macs. You can just download the robot and start using them.
That's interesting to know how to use or how to get started with Robomotion in a very brief way,
Sure.
so that my audience can, if they want to try some hands-on, like they want to play around with the tool, so
Yeah.
it will help them.
Yeah. Also, I know that most of your audience is a technical RPA developers. So maybe I can go further into some technical details of Robomotion if you like. Robomotion is developed in programming language called Golang. It is Google's programming language, mostly known for its excellent concurrency features. So that's also being provided with our robots. We can run things in parallel. This is our most powerful feature actually. We don't only provide you a one sequence of automation steps. Like in every RPA tool, you can do an open browser, open link, click here, download this PDF, extract and enter. But you have to loop this sequence to finish, for example, 1,000 PDF documents. With Robomotion, we can do these in parallel. So with one robot, you can run multiple sequences, what we call branches. When I show you the demo, I will demonstrate that also. So we can run things in parallel, and that is actually the power of Robomotion. This also helps you to scrape websites. This is also a very powerful feature for scraping. If you have thousands of pages, tens of thousands of pages, with one robot, again, you can scrape this in 100 branches and then complete your tasks faster.
That's cool. So is it still a low code, no code platform, or it needs a
Yeah.
development experience?
Yeah, that's also a very interesting question. That is, when we start developing Robomotion, we have to decide on that. There are edges for being a no-code and also a code-based RPA tool. You can see in the market that claims to be no-code and all code-based. We decided to go for low-code. We are a low-code tool. We have a visual interface for developing a drag and drop interface, but also we support low code with our native JavaScript integration. In your flows, you can write JavaScript code. We try to avoid that. We have a community in Discord, near 5,000 members, and most of our community members are no-code developers, and we try to create a no-code solution for everything we do. But for extreme cases, for advanced cases, you can't get away from scripting and coding in RPA. It is very difficult to do. There are very hard cases, and scripting helps there. So we decided to go for low code. If we decided to go for code, that is also cumbersome to develop automations, we believe. It is very fast to develop with low code tools, just drag and drop and create your automations. We believe in low code. So Robomotion is a low code development tool.
Okay, that's cool. As enterprise level RPA or rather automation tools. So now companies don't use this term RPA. I mean they just use intelligent automation,
Yes.
right? And because they don't want to restrict themselves to doing repetitive and rule-based work. Apart from that, they are infusing AI technologies into their products and platforms so that they can their bots can do more intelligent work, decision making and all. So in Robomotion also, I think it is easily connecting to AI services that we have, or there is a AI infused already into the platform.
Yes, we have integrations with AI platforms. Modern AI platforms like OpenAI and Replicate and Gemini, we try to follow all the big companies. We try to integrate with them, and we try to create real-world solutions with them, and always share some examples in our YouTube channel for our users. Before this AI movement, intelligent automation was all about actually OCRs, right? When someone is talking about intelligent automation, it's mostly OCRs, but now things change. Now we are talking about agents, AI agents, and now RPA with AI becomes much more powerful. So we are now getting away from only rule-based automations, and now we are integrating AI into our automations, and that is a very powerful feature. We believe RPA can be very useful when combined with AI agents, because when you look into AI agent space right now, you can see the tools they use for demonstrations, and most of them are very simple tools like search, calculators, maybe chat with documents. These are just examples to show these AI agents. But with RPA, we have many tools. In every RPA customer, we developed many real-world automations for our customers, and we have the power to convert these automations into tools for the AI agents. And when you do that, you have a real AI employee, teammate, and you can talk with them in your native language and ask them to do the tasks. So we are combining AI with RPA. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. If I may ask, what are the what are your client base like? How many clients do you cater?
Yeah, we are near 50 clients. Most of them are enterprise companies. We are, as I said, located in Istanbul, Turkey. So we are growing in Turkey. We have grown in Turkey. But other than that, we also have been focusing on SaaS part of RPA. So there we have more than 5,000 paid customers, but these are mostly small companies, agencies, solopreneurs, and we have a community out of these clients, and their expectations are very different than enterprise companies. And we 5 years ago, actually, we seen a gap in this space. So most of the RPA, when you talk about RPA, are used by enterprise companies. But there is a gap from these solopreneurs to SMBs to enterprise companies. We are trying to fill that gap. Our tool is much more reachable and affordable. You just go to a website like any SaaS product, and you can start using our tool.
Okay. With that, I can't wait more to see the demo.
Sure, yeah. I use Ubuntu daily, so I will demonstrate on Ubuntu. But as I mentioned, you can just go to robomotion.io and download for your machine. You can download for macOS, Ubuntu, or Windows. So when you log in to our system, we present you three tools actually. One of them is Designer. This is where the RPA developer works and develops her flows. And the admin console is for managing your robots and flows, like scheduling tasks and managing the robots' licenses. And apps is also what differentiates us. We can create user interfaces, applications on top of your flows. So I will talk about them later. But I won't demonstrate just very simple examples for your audience. So any RP tool can automate websites, desktops. I'll just show some of our differences. So this is a very simple flow. This will open a website, get a dollar rate, and then enter shows this in the designer. This is 101 of RPA, but I will make this interesting. So I will run it. A robot is running on my computer right now. I will run this flow on it. So it opened the browser. It returned the dollar rate from that page. Now, this is a very simple automation, as I said. Now I will make this a little interesting. Let me delete these start and stop nodes and add an HTTP in node here. And then add an HTTP out node here. So we can turn any web application or any automation into a web service with Robomotion because we can handle things in parallel. So let's call this get request dollar. I will serve it on my laptop, and then I want to get the dollar rate. I want to go to details of this, and then return the dollar rate taken from the page. Now let's run this again. Now nothing happened. The automation did not start because we did not trigger it. Now I will trigger it on the console. So I will call curl. And the endpoint was dollar. And now when I run this, the automation started and returned the result. Now the interesting part here is we can do this multiple times. So if I run this, I couldn't reach it 2 times or 3 times, you will see multiple browsers opening. This is not a queue, and they all run in parallel.
That's a parallel
So
processing, real time
yeah,
parallel processing.
yeah, real-time parallel processing. And also, not this only, we provide a free canvas to our users. So in most of the RPA products, you have one sequence. You just drag and drop the activities from top to bottom, but we provide a free canvas to you. So you can copy paste this, and then, for example, get the euro rate, for example, from this. I won't change the activity names, get the euro, and then return that. And let's change the endpoint for this. Let's call this euro, and then stop and start this. So these are what we call branches, visual branches of automation. These are multiple sequences now running. Now I can do dollar as before, but also I can do euro as much as you like. You can run euro, and then it will return the euro rate to you. So yeah, this is very powerful if you can utilize this. For scraping, we do lots of scraping, and also this is very, very powerful for websites or portals, mostly government portals, that does not provide an API. So you have to automate those sites with your RPA automation, and we turn these into web services with this feature. And yeah, this is actually it. And also, we have some building blocks to support more parallel processing. These are all inspired from Golang. These building blocks comes from the Golang language. So here, for example, a visual example. So we start the flow. What we create a wait group here. These are just creating a wait group, and this returns the handle of it, the resource. And then we add how many branches that we are going to be waiting for, the number, this is delta. If you search for wait group in Golang, you will see exactly this. We just turned it into a visual presentation. And after that, we branched the flow visually and also manually. These are manual branches. If we want to process 3 branches at the same time, I have to add another one here. But here, what we will do is, in the third branch, the wait group wait node will wait these 2 branches to finish. And when we understand it has finished with when this wait group done node is called. So let's run this. I have to stop the previous node, previous flow. And now let's run this. So it started. These are just fake processes, random sleeps here. And as you can see, 2 of them finished, and then the wait group wait continued to the sequence. This is building blocks. These are low-level building blocks, but useful for some cases. And these are abstractions. And on top of that, we provide much easier building block to use, our fork branch node. So here we actually combine wait group create, wait group add, and wait group wait functionality into one node. So here we can dynamically create branches. For example, in this fork branch, we say create 3 branches. This means the flow, when continues from this top port, it will fork 3 branches of this. So this is also very powerful. So if this is a scraping task, you just write here 30, and it will run 30 branches at the same time. Now, when we run this, now we have 3. Actually, I haven't cleared this. Let's start this again and see it's working. We will see 3 debug outputs here, and it finished the flow. So we have forked 3 times this branch. We can see that with our debug node here. This is like a console log or printf for your flows. and we have seen the 3 branches here. Yeah, so this I can demonstrate. Further than that, maybe I can show our package integrations. We have a very powerful packaging system. We support 4 different programming languages for you to write your custom packages, what we call. Some tools called custom activities. We support Python, Golang, .NET Core, and Java. So we choose what tool is good for that task. For example, if we are going to write an Active Directory package, we don't write it in Golang, but we use .NET. Most of our API integrations are done with Golang, and most of our AI integrations are done with Python. So we have 11 Labs integration, OpenAI integration, Gemini, Replicate, Vertex AI, Cloud integrations. You can use them today. We also support all the databases, Oracle, Postgres, MySQL, ClickHouse, all of them. Yeah,
I sorry to interrupt you. I
yeah,
have one
sure,
question. So
sure.
if you have shown the list of available packages, if I want to build my own custom package, is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
possible?
sure. Yeah, possible. You can do that. You can do that. And you can do that in your preferred language, Golang, Python, C Sharp, and Java. You can do that today, yes. And this mechanism works with some concept called repositories. We have a stable Robomotion repository that we serve from our admin console here. This is just an HTTP server. So, for example, let's check this one. This is our stable repository. When you go to this repository, we have a metadata for this repository. We have a command line tool called RoboCTL. So you can build your packages with that, like RoboCTL package build, and then you can create this repository index for your packages, and you can add your package repository here with the URL of it. And when you refresh the page here, you will see your package, and you can use that. So you can definitely create a reusable component for your projects.
And this is mostly used for like running unattended bots or attended bots, even like when we want to seek some inputs from user. So like that kind of flow we can build in this as well.
Sure, you can build. We actually support. Let me show you. We have multiple ways to create an attended automation. First of all, we have forms. This is like Google Forms. Let me show you an example of that. If I can find it, yeah. For example, you can create this form all dynamically from your flow, and you can create this link from your flow. For example, for one project for an enterprise company, we developed a survey and create links for 300 employees and send them separately. And when they submit the result, this link will not be reusable. This example here is can be used more and more, but these are all parametric. This is one way to automate things, to provide an attended interface for the users. The other is we can also create a chatbot with Robomotion. We have also a package for that. The assistant notes here. It is no different than creating your flows. So, for example, if you put an image and then a text here, for example, in this interface, we have a logo just presented with this image, and then a hello just with this. And after that, for example, if you put an input text box here, then you can ask something for the user. So you can do that. And I will just write something here. And yeah, you can create flows for these, show images. And the good part of this is This is a flow, no different than anything you developed in your other automations, but you can run this in parallel. So just one robot running this flow forever, because it is if it is an assistant flow, it always has to be responsive. So you run one flow on one robot, but 10 or 100 people can use this, because we can support multiple, like an HTTP in node. When you send a request, we can answer these nodes in parallel. There is another node called app in for this case. So app in, when a user starts a chat session, an app in is triggered, and then you can run this assistant chatbot. So yeah, we provide these kinds of interfaces for the users. We also see this as a gap when we started. Most of the RPA automations are provided to the customers, like just send an email, an Excel file, and the robot will start the automation, or just drop an Excel file to a shared folder and the robot will start. But the actual users are not seeing or interacting with the robots in that sense. We try to create some interfaces for the users. So forms, as I showed, is one of them. And also chatbots you can create. We create lots of chatbots for our customers. And last, we also have apps for user interfaces. So I have to show that in another workspace. So with these application interfaces, we can create user interfaces. We use Flutter for developing our apps, and then the backend of these applications are actually flows. Let me show maybe this one. We use Flutter Flow to develop these applications. So you can create actually any application interface. You are free here, but we use the flows as backend for these applications. So we create apps for our users. These are not very simple flows. Of course, the backend is like any backend, but we all do this as flows. And when we develop an app and put it in our app store, we provide all the user interface code and all the backend flows for our users to modify them and customize them to their needs. Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, thanks. Really, I would like to thank you for that awesome demo.
Sure.
I could see the processing speed was very, very fast. It was very quick. The bot was very quick. Although it was a simple flow, if someone wants to get started with Robomotion, so
Mhm.
I think as a company, you might be having academy to get started, a community edition or a free version to get started. So, would you
Mhm.
like to share that? Maybe if someone who does not know anything about Robomotion and they
Mhm.
want to get started or uh, play around with it, so what is the step?
Yeah.
What is the approach?
So we have a free trial. You can go to robomotion.io and register. We have 14 days free trial. And if it ends, you can create another one. Some people do that. And also, we have a YouTube channel. We
Okay.
are weekly adding new videos there. We have an academy playlist there, Robomotion Academy. You can start learning from there. And also, I suggest joining our Discord server. That is a live chat. We are always online there. It is not like a forum you post and wait the results. If we are not online present there, someone else in the community can answer you lively. So yeah, these are the learning channels for Robomotion. If you stuck anywhere, you can just ask at Discord.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. And what about the pricing model? Like,
We have three types of robots. One is development robot. These robots cannot be scheduled or cannot listen triggers. It is just for RPA developers. These are lowest priced robots for the RPA team members for development. We have production robots. These are for deployment, for production. These can be scheduled when you finish the flow. You schedule on in these production robots. And lastly, the application robots. This is an interesting one. When you create an app, like I showed you the video dubber, outreach, or SEO AI writer, you create an instance of that app. And when you create an instance, you create a dynamic license, an application robot license that can only run that app's flow. So this is our last robot type. And you can go to our pricing. We have a solo plan starting from $69. We provide developer robots and application robots there. And when you go higher, you will have production robots also. But they are very affordable compared to the competitors, because our target market is currently SaaS customers, but we also have enterprise customers. That's another story. Most of our enterprise customers prefer on-premise solutions. That's much higher. Of course, licensing gets higher there. And also, you need to have a Kubernetes cluster to deploy our backends. Robomotion runs on Kubernetes. So we need managed Kubernetes, or we can deploy a Kubernetes cluster and install our services there. But under 5 minutes, it is ready to be used, and you can reach and use it from your browser.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
answering that query. And I would like to know, like guys watching online, if they have any further queries or they want to deep dive into this, right? So they can comment down. Maybe Faik and I can do a live build of a certain use case to demonstrate further. So based on the comments, we can plan another session,
sure.
maybe.
I would like to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I would like to thank you for giving your time out of your busy schedule.
Glad to
So
be here. Thanks for having me, Dipendra.
thank you, thank you. So how was your experience?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. The fun part is when you messaged me, I remember that I had to do a demo, right? I also rushed for that, and the application demos have some errors because I was not prepared to show them. Maybe next time I can show better of those applications. Yeah.
Sure, definitely. I mean, I think it's really interesting, and I would also like to try my hands. Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
have a great rest of the day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Bye.